Hi everyone, I'm Zan Campbell from Weekend Warrior and Felon Fair, and I'm here today with
Kristen Wiggins.
With some Hearth-Guard love from the sound department. Yeah, so Kristen is a multi-year Weekend Warrior veteran of multi-factions, actually.
Yes.
Ranger and Hearth-Guard. But she is now true born in the fire and the blood Hearth-Guard. And so today we are talking about Hearth-Guard kits, building Hearth-Guard kits, especially for Weekend Warrior. But this really applies to any sort of Viking fantasy sort of culture. We designed the Hearth-Guard at Weekend Warrior to be a mix of kind of historical Vikings with like the Vikings TV show kind of Vikings as it were. Yeah, so have a lot of fun with them, and we've kind of got some cool things to show you. So hopefully this will give you guys some resources as you're trying to build your kit. We'll have some different brands and stuff we'll kind of try to tell you about and give you some links in the bio. This is all stuff that we love and that we use both by our players and by our staff. So if we recommend it, we think it's good. So yeah. So Kristen, tell us a little bit about, you got a new Hearth-Guard coming in. What are some of the basics that they should get?
I mean, bare absolute basics, of course, is just a tunic and like pants. And I really recommend the leg wraps too, with like the leather belts and a leather boots and
It's
then a
also
belt,
very,
of course.
very
Yeah.
Viking of you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It really keeps the pants from falling off. So yeah, that, and honestly, just some like leather armor is probably bare basics.
Yep. Belts, obviously. I think you said that. And then, yeah, so that's kind of your essentials. I've got a hood on too. Big fan of hoods. Helps protect your hair and your head from wearing a helmet. And then also, it's just good sun, shade protection, all that sort of stuff. So those are kind of your essentials. You can add cloaks in as well. We've got a couple options here. A linen cloak right here. I know don't you guys have like the blood cloaks or something, which is
We do, which I am not yet. So
you're not a blood.
I've got my brown
maybe
cloak.
One
there.
day
Yes.
we can do this. Yes. So you've got a brown cloak. This is a red herringbone wool cloak. You've got a brown herringbone cloak. It looks like. So yeah, cloaks are great. Add warmth, adds layers, and then obviously cool factor definitely
Protection
is
against the rain.
a thing. Yes, protection against the rain, which we've had, I guess, twice now in very small sprinkles, thankfully, but it has happened. So yeah, clothing is obviously, it's going to be a big factor in your comfort at the event. So having something that you can move in, made of good materials, and that's going to be practical, right? So because it can be really hot and it can be really cold, especially as we have a lot of these events in the fall and that sort of stuff. So now that we've gone over clothing, talk about, I guess, armor is kind of our next thing, right?
Yeah.
So you're wearing some, and you've got some.
So this was like what I started off with for 2 years, which started off with Rangers, so something a little more Robin Hood looking. But this is my brand new armor, actually, that I haven't worn yet. So it's very stiff, which is why I didn't wear it today. But this is Black Raven Armoury, so gotta transfer to my true red colors there. So that, and then I've basically just been going with like a leather chest piece, and then my bracers because I fight in the shield wall, and the hand protection's really great for that. Yep. So.
And you've got the scaled armor on.
Yes.
Upper arms.
It's nice and lightweight. So.
Yep. Yeah, and so those are all viable things for Hearth-Guard. Hearth-Guard can't wear plate like the Kingsmen, so you're talking leather armor, scale armor, and then chainmail too. Big fans of chainmail. It gives you a lot of mobility, adds some weight, but it gives you a lot of mobility and a lot of defense points at Weekend Warrior. So we're definitely big fans of that. Something that's kind of optional, but we really like is helmets. So you've got your helmet here.
My nicely rusted helmet.
Your nicely helmet, yes. Well, how very appropriate. So helmets are really great. Headshots are off limit at Weekend Warrior, but I always wear a helmet anytime I fight, just because one, it makes you look cool and impressive. Yeah. And
it's a nice prop too when it's too big on you.
Yeah, well, so helmets are great, and they give you that extra protection, and like honestly, it is some kind of courage in this fact that
no, for sure.
You can kind of run into a fight and know you're not going to get hit in the head, because getting hit in the head, yeah, it's like, even though you're not supposed to, it can happen by accident, and it can be disorienting and stuff. So yeah, why risk it,
When you're short in a shield wall.
The cards. Yes, especially if you're fighting in the shield wall, because the Hearth-Guard really get in there.
Yeah.
They mix it up in the shield wall, and that can get really intense and really crazy in there. So definitely I would highly recommend a helmet if you can swing it. But that's definitely more of an advanced, like, because you haven't even worn a helmet at the event yet, have you?
No, because it's too big on me. So
yeah, so buy one of the right size.
When you're little.
Pole arms, spears are things.
Yes.
And then especially if you're shorter and don't have as much reach, getting longer reach artificially with a spear is great. You guys also a big fan of those big two-handed axes.
Yep.
And then the shields, obviously the Hearth-Guard, the shield wall, that's your big thing, right?
Yes.
So yeah, having an epic armory, listen to their consumers, and they finally made us flat, big Viking shields. So we're super happy. We've got some of these this year. So definitely great for the shield wall at Weekend Warrior. The older, more concave ones work fine, but the round thing can kind of direct swords sometimes back into your leg and that sort of stuff. So the flat is much more practical. It's the reason they used the flat ones in the first place. Tell us some more accessories, things you like to have at the event. I know you've got a bunch of stuff going on.
Lots of bling, lots of gold in the true Viking fashion. Honestly, furs have been a really great accessory. They're really warm at night, especially like in the fighting ring. They just look really cool with the Hearth-Guard, very Viking. So that's probably been like my absolute favorite accessory besides the jewelry I acquire each year.
Yeah, kind of add a little more with every monastery you meet. Yes, every poor monk of Luminos you slay. But yeah, so folks, those are some of the basics. I know, did we miss anything? Yeah, everything. Yeah. Boots, we talked about boots.
A Viking horn.
Yes, a drinking horn.
In a true Hearth-Guard fashion.
It's always great to have something that you can drink, especially water with, or mead. Do you guys ever drink water? Is that you just...
The others don't. I quite like my water.
You like your water?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so having something to hydrate with on you is really important. Well, folks, that's about it for the Hearth-Guard. If you have questions about a specific item, we have videos on pretty much every single specific item when it comes to the Hearth-Guard with their glorious red and brownish, dark brownish, blackish stuff. So anyway, thanks so much. You can find out all the details, weekendwarriorexperience.com. You can follow the Hearth-Guard on Instagram. You can, I don't know, like, comment, subscribe, because that's what one does on YouTube. And so, yeah, hopefully this answers some questions, and we will see you guys at Weekend Warrior. Thanks, everyone.